What is going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. We are ripping into another episode of the podcast, and we're going to be kickstarting this very shortly. So let's get our terrific clients into this live so we are ready to rocking roll. Oh, yeah, boy. Okay, we are live, guys. We are live. So we're going to kickstart this episode in just 2 minutes. So if you're coming into this one live, guys, you know the drill. You can get down in the comments and you can say hello and let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're watching. Let us know that you're getting the value. And of course, if you have any podcast ideas that you would like to share with us, then I would be more than willing to cover them in an upcoming episode. So good morning, everyone. How are we? I am going to be talking today a little bit about fuck the scales. All right. So we're going to get a little bit frank here. So if you're coming in, guys, you know the drill. You want to rip down into those comments. And if you do watch this on replay, you hashtag replay in the comments so we know you're here. Hey, JC boy, what's going on, mate? You're getting consistent, aren't you, mate? Well, not that ever changed. Hope you guys are having a wonderful start to the week. Oh, I'm so freaking jealous of all you Aussies. It's getting bloody lovely back there by the looks of that sun. Long days, sweaty days, beautiful times. Yep, I'm jealous. It's getting freezing here, but you know what? It's all part of it. Hello, Stevie, my legend. Steve, is that book coming today? I do hope so, mate. Steve's conquering his reading challenges and starting to dive into some self-development. I love that about you, Steve. Guys, we're going to kickstart this one in 1 minute. Now, I think that this episode, hello, Maxi. I think this episode is going to be very, very important, particularly to the ones who are super obsessed about their weight. All right. This is a really important episode because so many of you guys are getting stuck on your weight. And I'm going to give you hopefully a perspective shift here. Notice how we're constantly live on the podcast now. I am getting this message out. Hello, Matty. I hope you're well too, brother. I am tremendous, dude. Top of the world, if you ask me. Guys, 30 seconds till start time. Got it already. How good's that, Steve? 1 chapter a day, dude. 1 chapter a day. That's all you need to do. Don't overcommit. The key to reading and getting better at reading is just slowly and cumulatively building. 1 chapter a day or 10 pages. That's it. Don't try to overcommit. All right, my brothers, my sisters, we're going to kickstart this little thing. So, yeah, I'm super proud of you, Steve. Good job, mate. All right, guys, we're going to get this rocking and rolling. Let's go. On the count of, sorry, I was realizing that my Instagram feed was not live. We're having some trouble starting your live video. Well, you want to get live. What is going on? All right, give us half a sec, dudes. Just give us half a sec on this. This doesn't usually happen, but seems that I need to restart the gram. But that'll give everyone a little bit of time to come in and get ready for this potty. All right, so pop the title in there. Sorry, guys, about the little delay. I'm going to say the scales. We're going to call it the scales. All right. So, sorry, guys. Apologies for the delay. I'm taking it with me to, have something to read at work. I love that. All right, let's do it. I'm going to rack straight into this. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you are sick of the dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to make a proposal. And the proposal is fuck the scales. What a good proposal. Now, look, it's not that the scales are unimportant. I think the scales are very important. However, the scales are not a full indication of your progress. And so what I want to do is have a conversation with you guys today, a little bit about why looking at the scales only can be deceptive. Okay, let's go from the top. You want to ask yourself, what makes up your weight? Well, think about it. I think what a lot of people do is they equate weight to fat. The two aren't the same thing. When you think of your total body weight, what does that actually include? That includes your fat for sure. It includes muscle, bone, blood, organs, connective tissue, hair, skin, tons of stuff, way more than just body fat. But we act as if body fat is the only thing that matters. Sorry, we act as if scale weight is the only thing that matters. So if the scales go up, we're happy. If the scales come down, we're sad. In truth, it is so much deeper than that. What can be happening, for example, let's say that you think that you're doing really, really well. You're adhering to your calorie deficit, but for some reason, the scales are staying the same or going even up a little bit. Here's a few things that could be happening. You might be better hydrated, number one. You might have simply some food or some undigested stuff in your gut or in your bladder. Or what about the fact that you might actually be putting on some muscle? Has that entered the frame? And a lot of ladies particularly will say, oh yeah, but I just still want to see, I get that you want to see changes on the scales, but particularly at the start of your journey, a lot of the actual weight that you're going to lose is going to be what we call water weight. And that's happening because you're eating less carbohydrates, and carbohydrates suck up water. So if you start to eat less of them, you start to lose a bit of water. So you get a lot of rapid weight loss at the start. And then what happens is that starts to flatline a little bit, and you get into the tug of war around trying to get your body fat down. And that's a lot harder. So why should you even care about anything beyond the scales? I don't think that you can just completely throw the scales out, but to a degree, for those of you that are just super fucking emotional about it, you have to be able to just put them to the side, because if you don't, you're going to get trapped in thinking that, I'm only doing good if the scales are going to go down. So why would you bother? Well, firstly, it's smart to do that because actually you need to look beyond just the number on the scales to gauge your progress. But the second thing is you might actually feel a little bit better psychologically if you look at more than just one factor. Okay? So let's have a think about from compared to when you first started your transformation, be it last week or 3 years ago, it doesn't matter. I want you to ask yourself, I'm going to just bang out quick fire a bunch of different metrics here. And I want you to think about how these have changed for you. And if you're watching this on replay, I want you to think about maybe identifying which ones are the most prominent changes for you. So let's go from the top. Physical strength. Are you stronger in life compared to when you started? Has your actual lifting weight gone up? Circumferences. Are you lesser around the waist and the hip compared to when you started? Are you more around the chest and the biceps and the quads compared to when you started? What about your flexibility and mobility? Has your range of motion got any better? Are you more balanced? What about when you're moving from machine-based weights to, for example, free weights? Do you feel more balanced? Do you feel more in control regardless of how strong you are? Do you feel that you're moving around quicker? Are you in less pain, less stiffness throughout the day than you used to be? We're only just getting started here, guys. What about your skin? Does your skin feel cleaner? Does it feel healthier? Does it feel more hydrated? Have you had blood tests for your cholesterol levels, your sugar levels, your blood pressure? Have they gone down? Have you grown more muscle tone? Despite what the scale said, can you see more muscle in your photos? Are you in better functional state? What I mean by this is, are you able to do more things in life like jump or play with the kids? Has your posture improved? What I'd love to see is that head starting to pull back and the shoulders starting to open up a little bit. What a huge, huge win. Has your recovery time started to come down? Have you noticed you're getting sicker less? One of the big things with unhealthiness that people don't talk about is how we're just constantly sick all the time. Do you feel like your immune system is getting better, able to push away disease? Is your sleep better? For me, the connection between lifting weights and sleeping is incredibly obvious. When I'm training hard, my nervous system is getting fatigued and I sleep like a baby. When I'm working too much, my brain's getting tired, but my body and nervous system is not, so I sleep terribly. What about you? Your energy levels. Are you feeling more fatigued throughout the day, particularly when you hit that time at around 1 or 2 o'clock, which we call a circadian low point? What are your energies like there? What about stamina over the course of a day? Do you feel like you're at the point where actually it's getting like you feel like you actually have more ability to push through the day, more endurance? What is your hydration like? Are you drinking more water than you were used to? Do you feel like your cravings are going down? Do you feel like you're more in control of your eating as opposed to feeling like you're emotionally tied to it? Wow, what a win. I could keep going for pages and pages here. We've talked about physical changes, but what about the psychological changes to your mindset? Are you feeling like your mood is swinging less over the course of a day? Do you feel, even though you might still have slight periods where your mental health dips, which is completely normal, do you feel that those dips are less? Are you feeling like you're more in touch with your appetite? What about your reactivity? Do you feel like actually, as a mum or a dad, particularly, I'm noticing myself wanting to react, but catching myself before I react? And then, secondly, not going into this like massive, what do you call it? Self sabotaging pattern that I'm also used to. Do you notice your confidence and your self image starting to improve and increase a little bit? Have you noticed that yet? Have you noticed just an overall life outlook starting to change? Are you taking more responsibility in your life? Are you feeling like for the first time for fucking ever, you're actually setting goals regardless of what the scales say? Goals which you're moving towards, albeit perhaps slowly, but nonetheless moving towards goals? Do you feel like you're growing for the first time in your life? Do you feel like you're more educated, more employable? Do you feel like you're living in closer proximity to your core values? Guys, I wanted to do this episode because speaking through to so many of you through the week, it feels a lot of the time like it's all about fat loss. It's all about weight loss. And guess what? We should want that. But not at the expense of looking at all the tremendous fucking things that eating healthier, being working out and moving and being overall more vital bring to your life. Now, if you're not feeling any of these things, I want you to ask yourself, what's happening here? I think it's probably either one of 2 or 3 things. Number one, you never actually considered it. You're really one-dimensional in how you're looking at your health. So you're not actually looking beyond the scales, which hopefully this episode is like, oh yeah, like I didn't even think about my sleep. It's actually way better. Or, oh yeah, I'm actually getting stronger. So that's possibility one. Possibility two is, if you're not seeing these changes, I want you to ask yourself, rather than getting frustrated about the outcome, are you actually committed to the process of following a plan? Are you actually doing the thing? Because, of course, you can't just think about getting healthy. You've got to do the things that get you healthy. That's number 2. And number 3, if you are feeling like, despite all the good intentions, you still can't see, after I've listed off some 50 in a list, you still cannot see any growth in any areas. I want you to just step back and ask yourself, are you caught in a kind of like a story of where you're expecting to do poorly? And so, therefore, your body is seeking out your brain, a certain part of your brain called the reticular activating system, is seeking out more negative. Have you ever noticed when you buy a new car, all of a sudden you seem to notice that that exact car and that exact make and model seems to be everywhere on the road, but before you never noticed it? There's a part of your brain that sets up an antenna to attract what you're thinking about. So if you're just thinking about what you don't have, or you're always thinking about the scales exclusively, then perhaps it's a good moment to try to consciously change that story, to actually look beyond the scales, man, and think to yourself, fucking hell, whether I've been in this for 6 days or 6 years, what has changed about my life? Are you taking more overseas trips? Have you got a better relationship with your partner? Are you a better mum or dad? If you're just reducing everything to the scales, to me, that's just living extremely one-dimensionally, and you're missing the best part about transforming. I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Short episode. I hope that kindled a few ideas. If you are interested, I'd be interested in a bit of feedback around this. So if you feel any of these things, shoot them through to me. I want to know what's actually changed for you. Guys, this has been the Better Body Academy podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, team. I'm going to leave it there. We've got a couple of people watching on Profile and YouTube and all across the places. Kath says, a huge change in my mindset, and that my negative self-talk in my head, I'm excited about the possibilities. Oh, Kat, I love that so much. That's probably exactly what I'm talking about here, mate. So we focus a little bit. I mean, for you, Kath, it could be, you know what? My calories are starting to increase, right? I'm actually eating more and getting to enjoy more food, regardless of what the scales say, which is benefiting my life indirectly. We all love food, and if you're not trapped in a low-calorie lifestyle, this makes life a lot more fun. All right, dudes, hopefully